a little deeper dive at drawing noses today. So I am live. If you have a question, just shout out, put it in the chat, and I will be happy to answer it for you. So let's go ahead on our page right now and let's start very simple, this idea. Let's just come in here. Let me make sure I'm good there. All right. Let's start off just with a very light triangle. Circle, more of a kind of an egg shape per se. And let's get a nice block shape here, okay? Now these are just shapes right now, but if we add a little bit of, if we add just a little bit of shadow, we can turn these shapes into be 3D forms. So what do I mean by that is, let's come over here to the triangle. Just put like a little line right here, and let's just drop a tone underneath here. And then right here at the edge, just come in here with a little bit more, slightly darker value. Okay, and this next, let's do it also for this shape right here. This time, let's do something like this. And let's drop a little tone down in here as well. On this square shape, same thing. Down here, let's draw another triangle. This one is something like that. Another oval there, and then another square right here. These are going to be profiles. So down here, let's drop a shadow. Now look at the angle of the shadow is slightly different than the one above. This is going to be more of an S curve. And the same thing here. Now, if we were going to draw, I want you to think about this idea here. If I have a telescope, right? I'm looking at a telescope here, and I took that telescope and I raised it up above my head. It might look something like this. You know, it might be something like that, okay? So when we draw the nostrils, I want you to think of that shape that you're looking up, okay? So looking at this guy here, if this little center part in the nose right there, you see that? This is coming down like this. But then the nostril is going to be in here, you see? Nostril is going to be over here. Then look to the corner here and watch this. This little bit of skin is going to come down like this. And you're going to get that little bit of an edge right there. Let's do that to the other side as well. We're going to come down here. And this will be our tip of our nose right there. We're going to do that a couple times here. So let's go to our next shape of our nose, and here's, get that inside part right there. And then over here, you're going to come around like this. Same thing on the other side. Noses are a complex form. They're not easy. That will be your tip of the nose. Okay. Well, let's do this down here this time. Go like that. Okay, let's jump down below. Okay, here's down here. Now this is a profile view, all right? We're gonna, tip of the nose is here, and then if I'm going too fast, just shout it out. Let me know and I'll slow down. Here's the front of the nose there, and then it comes underneath. There's your wing. Okay, this is going to be the tip of the nose here. Okay, how's it looking, everyone? All right, let's bring up their photo now. So I think what's key is one of the key things is to look at the relationship between the tip of the nose and where the nose comes in contact with the face. So for example, here is the tip of the nose there, and then this is where it comes in contact with the face. Your nose is so sad. Here's the tip of the nose here, and it comes back in contact with the face there. Okay, we're gonna turn that nose into a smile there, okay? All right, here's the tip right there, and then back here is where it comes in contact. So let's go ahead and give this a go here. We'll start with a big shape, and then break these things down, okay? All right, we'll start with the first guy at the far right here. So let's just get a big shape here. Let's just kind of come like this. Nice big shape. All right, let's get the tip of his nose. Now it's not toward the bottom. The tip is going to be up here. And when I say the tip, this is what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking like this is the round ball here. You see this? That's what I'm thinking of. All right, so that's going to be over to this side now. Now this nose is 3/4, so we don't want to put the septum in the center. We want to shift it over a little bit. So it's going to be right about here. And we could very lightly connect that little pathway right there. All right, now think about our telescope. Almost like this. Almost like this. It's almost like that angle right there. You see that? You know, and this, if you find this to be difficult, that's actually a great sign, because that tells you that your brain is learning. And, that is one of the most healthy things we could do for our brains, is to constantly challenge our brains, because it creates all those brand new neural pathways, right? Now on this other side, look, I made this little pathway there. You see that? That's drawn right here. So now we could just kind of come around and get that other nostril. When it comes to art, it's my job to try and help you to see things new. And I guarantee it will happen over time. You'll get it. All right. Let's add a little tone to this. Okay, let's do our next nose. All right, so if you remember on this one here, our shape was like this, remember? So this one, let's just do the same thing. Look at this. There's the shape of our nose right there, okay? Let's put that in. Look at that tip of his nose is really round. Okay. Nostril comes back. Nice S curve, and he's got some big old nostrils there. Okay, I'm coming up from the septum. Working my way through the tip. And you can see, this is interesting. This is that's the plane of the face. You see that right through there? And if you look, you could actually see the nose right there, sitting right on the plane. Let me erase that so you could see what I'm showing there. All right, you see how that nose is sitting right on that plane? So we have our nostril here, but then we want to make sure that that edge of the nose is sitting on that plane of the face. So we come up and then over the top. Okay, let's look at our last nose here. Look at this overall shape. Now this is slightly angled here. And a tone underneath. Okay, now this is 3/4 as well. So let's get the tip of our nose right here. And look how high, you can't even see inside the nostrils of her nose here because she's looking down. All right. I think that's going to do it here. Have a great afternoon. Go out there, make your day great. We will see you later. I will see you guys later. Okay. Bye-bye. If you do have additional questions, please join our Facebook group. It's totally for free. Post your questions in there. You can direct it toward me or even down here in the comments below. You can ask a question and I will try and answer it my best. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. All right. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Okay. Bye-bye.